Hey everybody, Dockside Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back in my Dark Souls 3 Bows Only run, and I am starting in the Grand Archives just after the Dragon Slayer armor fight. If you guys watched that last fight, again, I was pretty surprised on how well that actually went. I was not expecting it to do first try, but I did it, and we're on our way now. So the Grand Archives, there's not really a whole lot here for me. A couple key items that I am going to be looking for is Greyrat's ashes, because yes, his storyline ends here. He dies, you get his ashes, you take him back to the Handmaiden in Firelink, and you get access to all of his stuff. Killing this sorcerer is also a key item if you're doing sorceries. She will drop a Crystal Magic Scroll, I believe, which gives you access to Crystal Soul Spear and I think Crystal Soul Shower, I believe. But no, you get access to all the crystal spells, which are generally a lot stronger than the base ones. And you get your last Estus Flask Shard, and that's pretty much it for key items that I'm going to be looking for anyway. Like, there's not a whole lot here for me, so I'm going to be running straight through. Like, my bow is maxed out, I can't really do much else with it. There's no new arrows that I'm going to get access to. It's just going to be souls and levels from now on. So if you haven't done the Grand Archives before, or you haven't done it in a really long time, in this little pool here, you can dump your head into it and you cover your head with wax. I know what you're thinking. Huh, how does he breathe? Don't worry about that. Anyway, when you get your head covered in wax, that keeps you from being cursed. Now, why is cursing a problem? The books in the Grand Archives, they spawn these ghost hands, and you'll see them throughout my run through this area. I don't spend a whole lot of time in them, but they will curse you if you stand in them too long. So if you dump your head into wax, it kind of mitigates that, and it lets you freely explore within the books and don't have to worry about getting cursed. So as I get close to the shells, you'll see, yeah, those, the blue arms. They will curse you. But they won't curse me now because I'm covered in wax. Now, as you also seen, there was a little bit of magic coming down around me. That is the sorcerer that I was talking about earlier. If you can't, beat her the first time when, like, she's in that little alcove, which you need to do a fair amount of damage, like, within the first couple of hits, or else she will disappear and go further into the area. She is a constant until she dies. Once she dies, she's done. That's it. But she is going to be a semi-threat to me as I'm going through the area. I'm going to try to take her out, but honestly, I'm not going to worry too much about it. You can run right by her if you don't want to fight her, and she'll just keep, like, disappearing. She'll eventually go, I think, right back to the alcove, and then she kind of has these specific pathways that she takes when she disappears on you. So honestly, making my way through this area is pretty quick. I don't really stop for much just because I don't need anything. There's no new armor, no new bows, no new arrows. It's literally just getting through to get to the final Lord of Cinder. Now, in saying that, the Lord of Cinder that I'm about to go fight is two bosses in one, technically. You got Lorien and you got Lothric. Lothric is technically the Soul of Cinder that you're looking for. They fight together in two phases. So the first phase, you fight Lorien just by himself. It's not terrible. He does a lot of damage. He moves a little slow, so I could be alright with that. The second phase, Lothric will jump on his back, and you still have to take out Lorien to get Lothric to fall off, but then Lothric will bring Lorien back up with a spell. So I don't know how I'm going to really do it. I'm going to have to take out Lorien a bunch of times to get at Lothric, or I can try to position myself behind them and get a couple shots off on Lothric. you can do that. You can still damage Lothric while he's on the back of Lorien, but I'll get to that when I actually get to the boss fight. For now, I'm going to stop talking and just kind of let you watch my progress through here. Right now, I am trying to remember where Greirat's ashes are. I honestly cannot remember where they are at this point, and that worried me a little bit. I did end up finding them, but it was worrying me when I wasn't remembering where they were, because that's my major source of arrows. Getting those ashes is my source of arrows at this point. But again, I'll stop talking. I'll chime in later. So in here you get the last undead bone shard of the game, so your flask goes up to +9 and you get 15 of them. And honestly, that's enough for me. The path forward is this way. You can dunk your head again here if you absolutely need to. I do it. I don't know why, because I'm not going to be staying in this area for too much longer. I just kind of did it out of habit. But now, this is when I realized that Greirat's ashes weren't in this direction. So now, as I go back, the gargoyles that I just kind of let follow me have blocked me in. So I spent a couple seconds trying to see if I can shoot them through the wall and not get hurt. It was going good all for a little bit. I was hitting their wings, but they are able to clip through the wall and hit me. So that's not good. I can't fire through the walls at them. Not really fair, but whatever. Okay, Dark Souls, I'll play your game. But I try to get around them. It's not going to work. I don't really feel like forcing my way through. But if you were watching a couple seconds ago, I kicked the ladder down. That didn't clue in for a little bit. I kind of forgot that, hey, I can just go down the ladder and go back up the way I came and get around them that way. Because honestly, I can probably just reset the area and just run by them like I did before after I get Greirat's ashes. So now I remember the ladder, I go back down, and now I'm on my way. So I have remembered where Greirat's ashes are at this point in time. I actually passed by them, and I didn't even realize it. So I'll show you where they're at. If you go down this ladder and you run across these rooftops, you're going to come across the other gargoyle, but just kind of forget about him, and you want to keep going straight. So this gargoyle will try to attack you. Just kind of try and dodge. Don't be like me. And what you want to do is go down here. So down here, there's going to be another rooftop. You can't roll down there. You have to jump. And that's where Greirat's ashes are. If you're doing Greirat's story, this is where he ends up. This means that you have successfully completed the storyline. He was always meant to die. It's just if you want full access to his entire stores, you need to finish the storyline. So if you do it, that's where his ashes will be. So after I make my way back up, I can finally start continuing on towards Lothric. Next comes the next roadblock for me. These three are NPCs that will attack you. One is an archer, one is a knight, one is a sorceress. I tried just pulling the archer. It seemed like it was going well for a little while, but for some reason the sorceress got involved in it, and I can't take two at a time, let alone three, because I'm pretty sure the knight also just got aggroed as well. So I try to just run by them, but I couldn't remember if the archer dropped his bow or not. So I really wanted that bow. The whole point of what I'm about to do is for the thought of getting a bow. So it's kind of scummy the way I'm about to do this. And if you are having trouble with the three of them, I highly recommend you do this. So what's going to happen, I'm going to take this lift down. This is the beginning of the archive, so it's a shortcut anyway. But I'm going to go down, rest at the bonfire, replenish all my arrows. Now, that resets them. Their health is reset too, but that resets them to where they normally were. So, I'm going to go back up the lift, and I'm going to try taking them out one at a time. But, oh, you're probably about to say, you just tried taking them one at a time, they all aggro at the same time. Yes, they do. But, now, I have an elevator. So what I'm going to do, fire at this one until the other two come in, because the other two will come in. That's kind of a guarantee at this point. It doesn't happen for a little bit. See, there's the archer, and there's the knight. Now, I'm going to take the lift back down. At some point, I will reach their de-aggro level, and they'll just start slowly walking back to their place. Redo it. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next little bit. So after I do it, I did it for quite a while. I zoomed through this. I skipped to the end. And I will eventually take them out. Going up and down that ladder, or the elevator, sorry, it will make them de-aggro, or they'll get them stuck beside the lift so you can get a free shot off. And that will be that. So the knight drops this shield, the Golden Wing Crest Shield. It has a spell parry skill where at first I thought I was going to use it. I thought that when I went into the fight with Lothric, I was going to try and use this shield. But then I thought I would have to get rid of my Grass Crest Shield, and I really need that extra stamina recovery right now. So I decided against it. So anyway, I go back to Firelink, I give her the ashes, and now I have access to all of Greirat's inventory. Since I killed those 3 NPCs, I get access to their armor and weapons, which, if you know me, I love the Knight's set, the Lion armor. I absolutely love that set. That is probably my favorite set to wear. It is in Dark Souls 2, and that's the set I always tend to lean towards. But the armor isn't really great. I'm going to buy the Black Hand hat just to have a fancy hat, and I'll buy the armor as well. It's not great. I am going to continue to use the armor I am using right now because it offers me way more defense. I'm going to get stocked back up on arrows, and then it's probably a good idea to level up some. And because I think it's a good idea, obviously I don't do it. I don't make the best decisions with this game. I don't make the best decisions with Souls games. I'm playing through them with bows. Obviously I don't make great decisions. So I don't level up. I continue at the level I'm at. And now I'm going for my last Estus Flask Shard, which is a smart move. Do I use it before the boss fight? Probably not, but I will have it anyway. So if you want your last Estus Flask Shard, you go up the stairs past where the NPCs were, you turn left when you come out, and you come up to this little area. Now you run along this rooftop, and eventually you're going to go up the staircase to the next level to go onto that rooftop right in front of me. That is where the Estus Flask Shard is. Just be careful when you're getting towards the center of the roof I was just on, because there are 3 winged golden knights that will drop down on you. They hit hard, and they are tanky. However, they drop a great amount of souls. I think they drop probably a couple thousand each, maybe more. They could be upwards of 10,000 each. So they are really good for farming. They give a lot of souls. It's just, if you're like me, using a bow, it might not be cost effective with the amount of arrows that it would probably take to actually kill them. Because like I said, they're tanky. They have a good health bar. They aren't going to go down within probably 5 arrows, like a lot of other enemies. But if you want to grind there, there's a spot. So, on my way to the boss fight, this is, I think, supposed to be almost like a cinematic fight, where you come up, there's a bunch of barricades, there's a bunch of enemies to fight here, a bunch of hollows. I think you're supposed to fight them all, and then you make your way. It's like the different tiers. You have those hollows where they don't have their shields and the crossbows, then you have the hollows with the great shields, and then you have the knights. So I think the whole premise of this is that the game kind of expected you to fight through them, get to the last spot, and just feel good about fighting a bunch of enemies right before a boss fight. I don't do that. I run right through. I get this shortcut, which leads back to the Dragon Slayer armor. So with all that done, I get back to the bonfire at Dragon Slayer armor, and I head back to Firelink to put in for my last Estus flask. I have 15, they're at plus 9. I think they're as good as they're going to get. Someone can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think it's max plus 9 and 15. I know for sure it's 15 flasks they get. I just cannot never remember the plus number. So, coming back to Lothar Castle, I go back up the lift, and it's time to fight my last Soulless Cinder. Oh my god, this game has taken forever to get to this point. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do with my first try. I don't know how much damage I'm going to do to Lorien. I can't remember how tanky he is. I know his attacks can be sped up a little bit, just because he will swing his gigantic sword at me. He teleports, but that will also help me dodge his attacks, because generally he'll teleport behind you and come down with a big overhead swing. I can try and dodge that. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll do pretty well with this, but we'll see. I'm getting a little nervous just because, like, I'm getting close to the end of the game. So, like, I take a breath, I step in, it's time to start it. I'm not going to commentate over the entire fight, just because I want you guys to enjoy the whole fight. But, just so you guys know that I'm not confident going in. Like, Lorien, yeah, that teleporting. So, it takes me a little bit to get used to where he's going to be teleporting. But if you lock onto him, it will follow. So, if you're locked onto him while he's in front of you, your camera will automatically pan to him when you are trying to figure out where he's going. He always goes in behind you anyway when he teleports, so that's kind of a good way to know. But the lock-on will definitely help, especially with my bow, so I can have my arrow drawn already, and I can get that extra hit in before he actually attacks me. My dodging, again, still needs some work. I definitely need some work dodging, but I think it's going alright. So I'll let you guys watch the rest of the fight, and we'll see how I do. not a bad first attempt. I got to the second phase, and honestly, I did way better than I thought. Let's try again. Now, I'm trying to think of a strategy I can use. There's not really much. It's literally just dodge, dodge, dodge. Literally can't do anything else. But I was also surprised how much damage I was actually doing to Mark. Like, my arrows are actually chunking him fairly bad. I'm not going to try and use any elemental arrows. I figured that's where I end up going wrong with some of my boss fights. I try experimenting with the element arrows, and they don't do nearly enough damage for me to warrant using them, unless I can do more damage with an elemental arrow over my heavy arrows. There's no point in using them. But if you guys think otherwise, please leave a comment down below. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong. I will accept that and I will try it. I will definitely try it. But again, I'll let you guys enjoy this fight. Okay, so I get to the second phase again, and this is going to take a little bit, but I am going to leave it here. The video is getting a bit longer than I'd like, and I only wanted to give a couple attempts today anyways, so I am going to leave it at that. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, have a great day. Bye bye.